Recently, I posted a video about the weapon stories for each of the Drakengard protagonists, including NieR's Nameless Blade. I did not include 2B in that video because I wanted to share the entire Virtuous set of weapons in one video. Like usual, I will include chapters for each weapon and what game the weapon story is featured in. Some weapon stories in this video will contain themes of self-harm. I will inform you when those weapon stories are going to be discussed, and if you're uncomfortable with that topic, feel free to step away from the video or skip to the next weapon story. Virtuous Contract is 2B's signature small sword, known as a white sword like those carried by the samurai of old. Looks flashy, but the blade is top quality. How long can I fight amidst this bloody vortex of a battlefield? How long? I wonder. How long can I continue to protect what I love amidst this endless war? How long? I wonder. How long can I continue to believe in a world laden with deceit and folly? How long? I wonder. How long can I lie to myself as I despair at the dark future of this world? How long? I wonder. Virtuous Contract was included during the Automata collaboration in NieR Reincarnation. The sky abandons me as the sun bears down mercilessly on my blood-soaked body. I yearn for an endless deluge of rain. The birds mock me, yet my legs still carry me across this vast land. Even though I have no particular destination in mind, the flowers laugh at me. I carry out my orders without pause for thought, for I possess no need, no right, no choice, and no capacity to feel shame. You call for me. If you will permit it, please let me pray for your happiness, for these are my final memories. Virtuous Contract was also included in Replicant version 1.224's free For Your HUD DLC. Pod, relay the following to command. Mission complete. Destruction of target verified. I will return to the bunker after recovering remains. Over. Pod, relay the following to command. I made contact with the operations target. No suspicious activity observed at present. I will continue monitoring the target. Over. Pod, relay the following to command. I investigated the target's observational records, but found no hostile behavior. Requesting target re-examination and the temporary suspension of this operation. Destruction of target verified. I make no apologies, for I promised I would not. Farewell. Virtuous Treaty is 2B's signature large sword. This samurai sword's pure white blade is not yet sullied by a single drop of blood. First encounter with my lover. Failed to connect with my lover. Far away went my lover. With death went my lover to eternity. Virtuous Treaty was also in Reincarnation's Automata collaboration. We were wed as the minister arranged. We did so for our family, and for future generations. I had no interest in love or romance, and had no reservations toward this marriage. I remember how unwelcoming she looked when I first laid eyes on her. This aura made her hard to approach. I hesitated to even speak with her. How does she view this marriage? I often wondered. She surrendered her young life for the sake of her house, so I understood if she shut off her heart. I pitied her, and tried to be considerate and understanding. We were husband and wife, after all, but she remained detached, more like a doll than a living being. Thinking of her that way, my efforts started to feel foolish. What had I been hoping for? I should have just done this from the start. Again, Virtuous Treaty was also in Replicant's For Your HUD DLC. My family has decided I am to be betrothed. I cannot resist, for I am but a tool. The man who became my husband possessed terribly cold eyes, but he, too, is a mere tool to be used so his family might prosper. He treats me well in his own way, but I was still unable to properly respond to his kindness. One night, he calls me to his chambers. Still thinking him a kind man, I go to him willingly. As he greets me, I stare at the beautiful white katana he holds in his hand. Virtuous Dignity is a spear found after taking an alternative path in the sewers before reaching the amusement park. Warning, this weapon story does also have one instance of suicide. The weapon story's fourth entry also is a reference to Brother NieR. This pure white spear shines with the pride of the haughty samurai who once bore it. The elegant white spear was crafted by a tyrant as a gift for his wife, whose parents he had killed years earlier. She slipped it under the bed they shared, then later used it to run him through 30 times. The spear's second owner was a courageous, bandit-fighting mayor. In her later years, her strength faded, until one night, a pack of young thugs surrounded her and took all she had, including her life. The third owner was a greedy merchant who lived to swindle customers. Soon she found herself shunned and penniless, and soon decided to hang herself. The unused spear rested in the corner of her room as a decoration. The fourth owner was a meek young man who wanted to aid his sickly young sister. He gave all to this cause, including his very existence and that of all else in the world. Virtuous Dignity is also available through summons in Reincarnation. Similar to its iteration in Automata, its weapon story begins referencing Brother NieR. This white lance has an interesting history. After leading its previous owners to tragic deaths, it came into possession of a boy concerned for his sister, but soon he too met a bad end. After his death, the lance was lost. Humanity has ceased to exist, after all, and so for ages uncountable, it lay forgotten and exposed to the elements. And though the cities humanity had built fell to ruin, wildlife continued to thrive. One day, a lost fawn found a dull, dirty lance in the middle of a grassy field. Taking it in its mouth, the fawn brought it to the foot of a great tree, and when the animal died and night vanished from the world, the lance continued to wait patiently for a new owner. Again, it was also included in the For Yorha DLC, discussing some of 2B's experiences. Be advised, it also has one mention of suicide as well. There once existed a cursed spear, whose holder would inevitably meet a violent end. Eventually, the weapon found its way to a mechanical automation that possessed no soul, and though it were a mere machine, the spear delivered countless deaths upon it all the same. The automation warred against mechanical weapons much like itself. It was crushed to death, burned to death, and thrown to its death from great heights. Yet each time, the automation was reborn and thrown into battle anew. The war became fiercer and more complicated. There were self-detonation suicide attacks, failed operations, and betrayals by companions. Indeed, it seemed to the soulless automation that it was inhabiting a kind of infinite, cyclical hell. Finally, the automation died a final time in order to save its trusted companions, an act that precluded the possibility of ever returning to life again. But as pangs of agony spread through its body, the automation found its final rest. Virtuous grief is found within the forest zone in Automata. Stark white samurai gauntlets, kept pristine, their master never saw a moment of conflict. I see you in my sleep, restless sleep. My heart flies to pieces each time I wake. I burn to see you in the real world. I hunt for the woman who pines for you. The scream pleases me. Your body and heart shall be mine. Your heart, I long for it, yet it does not return my love in kind. All you care for is your cold, dead wife, so I must at least take your body. Your head is mine, beautiful head. The eyes that scorned me are so lovely now. Hate me if you like, but grudge me all. You are still mine forever. Virtuous Grief was also available within Summons and Reincarnation. This weapon story centers around a suicide ritual. If you're not comfortable with this, feel free to stop the video right here since this is the final weapon story. You are clad in white for the ritual of self-slaughter. For as your master is dead, so must you follow him. I stand beside you, silent, ready to remove your head and ease your suffering at the end. Your whole life was a never-ending battle. You were a stranger to both love and wonder, and never realized what I felt for you. Even as your petals scatter, you are beauty. The crimson that blossoms from your stomach paints the wound the color of a dusky sky. Though you seek sweet relief, I beg forgiveness. Just now, while you yet linger in this world, permit me to embrace you.